How old is the New World? As we delve into history, we find ourselves face to face with the enigmatic concept of the New World. A term coined by European explorers, the New World refers to the Americas, a landmass that includes North, Central, and South America. Despite its name, this New World isn't as new as it may seem to us. Its roots run deep, with civilizations that date back several millennia, many of which predate those of the so-called Old World. Now, let's challenge our preconceptions about the age of the Americas. Many of us may think of the Mayans, the Incas, or the Aztecs when we talk about ancient civilizations in the Americas. But let's wind the clock back further, to a period before these famous societies even existed. While the most ancient city in the world was built by Sumer in Mesopotamia in about 4000 BC. It wasn't until the 1990s, when archaeologists unearthed the ruins of Caral City in the heart of Peru's Norte Chico desert, that the world would come to acknowledge the presence of America continent's earliest city dating back to 2600 BC. Because of the discovered ruin of a magnificent temple, and such a monumental construction endeavor necessitated the guiding hand of a resolute leader. Historians now assert that Norte Chico was the second cradle of a centralized government in the world, following Mesopotamia. Across history, great civilizations, from Sumer and Egypt to India and China, invariably sprouted from the fertile soil of extensive food crop cultivation, since it was the substantial population that made these civilizations possible. However, the Andean civilization, which was born in Norte Chico in South America, was an exception. Historians now believe that its economy was rooted not in agriculture but in the bounty of the sea, as evidenced by the discovery of ancient fish bones within the ruins. What made Norte Chico so special to favor fishery over cultivation of food crops? On one hand, the climate is dry with little rainfall. On the other hand, the cold Peru current with low salinity off the Peruvian coast houses the marine ecosystem with greater biological diversity and productivity per unit area. Almost 2 of every 10 fish in the world come from it. The Andean population started from the coast, gradually migrating towards the interior. But even Andean people started to farm after they spread inland. They were not mainly growing food crops. Can you guess what they farm? It is not wheat, not corn, not rice, but cotton. Why cotton? Because back then, the cotton boll fiber was in huge demand for fishing net production in a fishery-centered economy. You might wonder, how can cotton be grown in the arid desert? Cotton itself requires little water. And on the other hand, the melted snow from the Andes Mountains makes the arid regions of Norte Chico suitable for irrigation. Because of this, the Norte Chico civilization exhibits interdependent trade relationships between its coastal and inland regions. Coastal communities cast their nets into the ocean to reap the harvest of sardines and anchovies, providing food to inland people. Meanwhile, inland populations focus on cotton cultivation, ensuring a steady supply of the vital material needed for fishing net production in return. If we zoom out from Norte Chico to look at the bigger picture of the Andean civilization, the geography is dominated by the mountains, valleys, and plateaus. And this has profoundly shaped its economic pattern, giving rise to a multi-tiered vertical trade network, where each altitude played its part. The lowest coastal region offered fish, cotton, and corn. As we ascend to the terraced fields, bean plants, pumpkins, and diverse crops were produced. Further up in the plateaus, herders tended to the grazing llamas and alpacas, gifting the civilization with meat and wool. Finally, at the highest plateaus, the earth yielded its treasures in the form of root crops like potatoes. It is a blessing to have such geographic diversity across various elevations. For Peruvian Andean civilization, this geographic and food diversity mitigates the risks posed by natural disasters, ensuring a stable food production system that could sustain a growing population and nurture a great civilization. In another episode, we will talk about the Inca Empire, an illustrious part of the Andean civilization. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. See you next time.